One of the most daring, risky and adventurous forms of drug trafficking is known as underwater parasite smuggling. It involves scuba divers attaching large waterproof hauls of drugs, usually large amounts of coke, to the hull under the water of large cargo ships in South America before sending other divers in Europe or Australasia, for instance, down to retrieve it once it's arrived on the other side. Usually, the people on the cargo ship, the crew, or the people that own the ship or whatever, have no idea that this is happening. They usually have no connection to the drug smugglers, and these loads are attached and then retrieved in total secrecy, often under the cloak of darkness. The most popular place that they put the stash is known as the sea chest. That's a cavity in the hull below the waterline that's only accessible with divers. Now, this is not new. This has been going on since 1991. The authorities already know a lot about it because they've busted loads of people doing it. These big coke stashes have also been found attached to the outside of the hull using strong magnets. Here's a video of the Spanish police removing 32 kilos of cocaine from a ship's hull. The cargo ship had come from Brazil in 2023. If you're interested in this, I'd check out the reporting of Max Daly, who's a really good journalist who specializes in drugs, and he's done a big piece on this a couple of years ago. He also told the story of Bruno Borges, a professional scuba diver and adrenaline junkie from Brazil. He was found floating in the industrial port of Newcastle, Australia, surrounded by 54 kilos of cocaine in 2022. It's alleged that the 31-year-old and another diver that he knew was smuggled into Australia days before to undertake a risky underwater mission to retrieve the coke. According to the reporting of Max Daly, they were there to carry out a nighttime dive to retrieve 108 kilos of coke worth around $30 million. The coke was apparently attached to the outside of the hull of a huge 34,000-ton cargo ship that had sailed into Newcastle the night before from Argentina. But something went wrong. This is certainly risky business, especially when you're doing it secretly in the night. We don't know if it was something to do with his equipment, but he never regained consciousness. And the other scuba diver was never found. This video is the moment that the police in Gibraltar caught a parasite smuggler. They'd attached £2 million of coke into the hull of a cargo ship. Borges was an adrenaline junkie. He was a keen skateboarder and snowboarder and also ran his own abseiling company. After his sad death, the authorities in Australia launched an investigation which led to the arrest of a super yacht agent. He was trying to flee to Singapore and was implicated in this. In the ensuing court case, he was accused of bringing the two men into the country to complete this parasite smuggling dive to retrieve the cocaine. Court heard that the coke was imported in the hull of a bulk carrier that docked in Newcastle in May 2022, and the court also heard that Blee had brought the two Brazilian men into Australia via a boat. He then purchased a range of diving equipment worth $12,000, including a rebreather, which is a breathing device that does not produce bubbles, which is because they didn't want to draw attention to themselves. Then he apparently realized that the divers lacked the necessary skills and provided training to them on two separate occasions. According to the court records, the first trip to get the first half of the coke was successful, but the second trip wasn't. Obviously, that's when Bruno Borges' body was tragically found with the other half of the coke. Blee pleaded guilty and got 7 years, 6 months.